Well, let's reorganize that. This area right here. From here over. I already took care of this. Okay. All of the van parts are now in the van for the engine. Here's the engine. This shelving unit is coming out, and the bigger, better shelving unit right there is going in, and boards for it are right over there by the Flymo handle. So I'm going to move this out of the way and get my table out here so I can stick all these engines on that table so I can get that shelf out of there. And measurement wise, I am not sure where I'm going to be at, so I guess I'll find out once I get everything out and set that new shelf in there to see how we're going to proceed. But I have 1, 2, 3, 4 shelves on this one, and it's narrower. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shelves on that one, so I ought to be able to definitely compress a lot of this stuff. Plus that cabinet right there, excuse me, I have to cough. Either cough or sneeze, not sure which one. It's lingering. Got a pile of starters over here that actually go in that cabinet. That cabinet needs reorganized as well. Plus I've got a tote milk crate there full of different cans of aerosol cans of different types, and grease and whatnot, but the tube grease also goes in that cabinet. Got stuff up here I've not touched in eons. We'll find out what's in there. It'll be a surprise for all of us, I guess. But if I run across anything interesting as I'm digging, I'll pop the camera back on. Now underneath here I've got tire chains, hubcaps, tow chain, oil, antifreeze, transmission fluid. I've got 2-cycle and bar and chain oil there. Set of blades for my cousin's John Deere. Bunch of blades over here. It's just, this is a catch-all and it's a mess. So we'll come over here and we'll take a look at what happened over here. You guys may not notice the difference very much, but I was able to get rid of 4 engines. I got rid of 3 of them at once, and then the other one is just sitting right out there. So using my hoist, I brought a bunch of the engines over here. So both of my opposed are over here. The 8-horse aluminum Briggs is over here. 16-horse that needs carburetor cleaned is sitting here, and the Kohler Command single, forget what horsepower it is, 15.5 I think, 15 horsepower, is sitting there, and that needs an oil pan. My air guns, they were just in, my air paint guns, they were in that stack, and I don't know what I'm going to do with them yet. They're probably going to end up going over in my paint locker, which is back behind the hydraulic table in the toolbox that you can't see right now. But I'm going to dig in. I'll pop the camera on here and there as I am digging out, so we can see what kind of progress we're making and what kind of goodies we find. So hang on. Well, when you get it all laid out, it's kind of surprising how much this tiny little shelf had on it. This guy right here. Got 2 of the shelves off so I can get the 16 horse off of this. But I had a lot of weight on that thing, and it did fine. Okay, what do we got? There's 6 starters sitting there. There's a 3-screw carburetor. There's a 4-screw carburetor somewhere. There's another starter, so that's 7 starters. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 starters. Oh, duh, it's right up there. There's the 4-screw. So 3-screw and 4-screw. Got 3 MTD type pulleys. Some tins from the 16 horse. That piece of tin right there is what those 2 are right there. And that's a side blower shield that goes right here, which you can see right there. We've got 1, 2, 3 16 horse heads. This is a bunch of 16 horse parts here. Let's see what else we got. We got an MS 200T, one spare 8-lug cover for Ruby, just in case I ever lose one. There's an old muffler down there that goes to one of these old engines over there. This is the Grumpy. I don't know how many of you have been around long enough to remember the Grumpy 16 horse. This is the Grumpy 16 horse that has the blown out oil seal. Those two 16 horse are good. They were run and just set aside. I should probably get one of them ready and get it put in the B12, because the B12 is smoking like a freight train. There's one of my 5S's. There's another one of my 5S's. I don't recall what this Briggs is, but it's like a 2 or 3 horse. Then we have my Sears branded Briggs WI with the reduction gear on it that actually starts from the reduction gear. Where's the 2 cranks? There's the 2 cranks right here. I made that crank and then I found that one. Both of them work, and it turns counterclockwise to start the engine and clockwise. Then we've got the WI, came from my buddy Barney. And we've got 2 horse Briggs that came off of the Edger trimmer. This weird guy that has that really strange long cast iron intake tube going into a miniature 4-screw carb, and this is a miniature 4-screw updraft, and this is a miniature 4-screw updraft. So there's 1, 2, 3 of those in the mix. 2 tiller engines. This one just needs a carb clean, but it does run. This one runs like a top, and they both have the reverse shaft, the shaft that enables the tiller to drive in reverse. You see, they just put an extension on the cam, is all they did. Just a longer shaft on the cam. So all these engines, those 3 engines, and everything right here, including my zip loader, kickstands, and where did all the brackets? I moved all the brackets over to that cart over there for the zip loader when it gets put back to normal. But that thing's going to come out, and I'm going to do some sweeping on the floor and clean it up. Move this 23D here. Get it tucked under there a little bit further, since there's no other engines under there now. And we may pull those buckets out and slide the 2 of the 3 16 horse under there. I think the 16 horse I'm going to use is going to be eeny, meeny, miny, moe. This one right here. Let's see, is it that one? Is it that one that does not have a ring gear start? Yes. This is the one that I'm going to put in the B12. Because this one's a ring gear start, and I believe this other one's a ring gear start as well. No, it's not a ring gear start, but it does have a stator underneath it. Isn't that interesting? And it does have the ring gear on it. So maybe it is a ring gear start. But if it was a ring gear start, it would have the cutout in the shroud. Like that. Strange. Stranger things. But anyway. 6 1/2 dozen of another. I'm going to stick to the starter generator. So that is the engine that will be going in. That was like from an early 3416H or something along those lines. Let's see. 3416H would have been like a 73 or a 74. Let's see if we can find a year on this thing. And we cannot see the numbers from here, of course. Here, we can fix that. Let's get up in the air here. We'll just get that engine out of the way. I got it. Thank you. 74, 1974. So, yeah, I don't know if you guys could see it or not, but it's on the serial number. You have the date, code, and serial number, or model type and code. Model type, code, first two digits, 74. So that's going to go in the B12, because the B12, like I said, is a smoker. And I still have that cabinet to go through, and I have plenty of light with which to do that. And I think I'll leave this sit here for one of the shelves. I'll leave this sit here just while I go through that and get that organized a bit. But a lot of this stuff that's here, like these spools of wire, all these pulleys, I don't see any reason I'm keeping them. We've got them stacked everywhere. There's one down there, there, all those over there. There were a bunch back here, but I took those down. But what is that? That is a 10 horse out of like a 3410 Landlord. And this one is a 9 horsepower, but it is a 23. You know, it's a 23 because of the points breaker, and the type of coil that it has is that horseshoe coil with the magnetic pickup. And it has weak spark, but it does have spark. But some of these engines are just going to go away. That 23D runs, but it needs rebuilt. Lots and lots of engines all over everywhere. And don't you guys be eyeballing my Simplicity grill material there. That's mine. You cannot have it. Sorry. No, no, no. That stuff right there, it's stainless, and it's perforated just like Simplicity grills. My Steel 020 AV, I can leave that sit there for 5 years, put fuel in it, and it starts every time. And none of those are Simplicity tanks, except for the bottom one, this one right here, and the whole bottom of it is gone. This is a Sears, this is a Gilson, this is a Wheel Horse. In fact, that's Trader's, and it's going back on Trader. So, and there's an old Dennis tooth grinder, vintage old sucker. It still works too. Pretty cool, isn't it? And these are mufflers for hit miss engines, and I think I got just the right person for those. I really do. As well as the hose. I've got another bunch of that hose over there, and buddies that set up directly across from us at Portland, which is coming up really soon. Alright, that's almost 10 minutes of babbling and showing you guys just how much that tiny little shelf had on it. It had a lot on it, plus a bunch of stuff under it. It had 3 axles under it, and only one of the axles was worth hanging on to, so for the early tractors. Early Simplicities and Alice Chalmers. Alright, that's it. I'll bring you guys back when I get everything loaded back up, and we'll see what the final stack up looks like. All right. What a day. What a day, what a day, what a day. The 3 16 horse are sitting over here along with my airline charger and a 23D and a 10 horse. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 16 horse, the airline 10 horse, 9 horse 23D, and the 292 tucked in real nice, neat and tidy right in here. And underneath I still have a lot of room that I can shove some more stuff under. Both my ladders here with my sweeper, my log smart holder, my high jack, and you see that strap on that cabinet? I looked up and I was like, I am not going to be putting all these starters in that cabinet. It's wanting to pull the backing off of it. So put that strap up, pulled all the starters out, and all the starters are now here and here. So I've got a bunch of engines here. There's little micro Briggs, bunch of engines up here, bunch of engines down here, in front and back, This shelf is fantabulous. I've got all my liquids here and my aerosol cans that were over there. All my liquids here. And then my buckets have chains, my tow chain, got my diesel fuel, my 2-cycle and bar and chain oil, and log chain. All that's down at the bottom, and the John Deere blades. This cart is not going to be staying. It is going to go away. I will work out where I'm going to stuff everything. More than likely, that needs to be cleaned out badly. So I will be tackling this, and a lot of stuff's going to go away that's up there. So, but I've still got the same number of engines over here. I didn't take any of these engines and move them over to the to that side. Still got room to stick 1, 2, 3 more engines over here. It's 10 minutes till 6. I'm tired. I've been out here all day, and had a buddy of mine stop by. I had some things for him, and he had some stuff for me, so we sat and shot the breeze, which we usually do for about an hour. And he's heading out to go see the Y Store music band. But the roller cart is, for right now, storing right in front of the new shelf, so it just goes right this way, and there. So it's nice that it's on wheels. Got my gas cans there, and then my big monstrous 1,000-pound capacity hand truck just goes right there. I haven't moved the jack yet, and Dave's going to take this off my hands. Of course, those boards are no good anymore, but the rack is still in good shape. I can't believe all the weight that rack had on it, but still have a little bit more to organize, but it's going to have to wait until tomorrow. I'm wore out, I'm hungry, I'm sweaty, I've soaked and cleaned through to my britches, and need me a shower, need to get into the cool air. So thanks for following along, and it's all lit up over here now. I like that. Alright guys, promise you, I'll see you when I see you.